Good day, Helldivers. My name is DPG, and in today's video, backed by popular demand, we've got ourselves another tier list in my format of ranking for support weapons. At the tip top again, we have our Chef's Kiss.
So good and tasty.
Next up, we have Dylan,
You son of a bitch.
followed up by our
I want more.
next tier is,
Nice.
and lastly,
We heard about you before you even got up here. You look dusty.
first on our list, we'll be taking a look at our launchers, starting with the expendable anti-tank. Now I love the EAT and I often pair it with the commando to build a mini arsenal for my teammates. It's extremely prevalent, especially in the defense missions where you're able to call down 2 pairs of EATs before the mission begins. Now the EAT is a one-shot headshot to your Bio Titans, your Hulks, your Chargers, and tanks. Very early pickup within Helldivers 2 that you'll still enjoy in the endgame, with its time between call-ins being 59 seconds with a fully upgraded destroyer. Only drawback this weapon has is when you miss your shots. EAT falls into the Dylan, you
You son of a bitch.
tier. Moving on to the younger brother of the EAT, we have the Commando. Now, like the EAT, the Commando is another expendable launcher, rocking a total of 4 missiles per launcher. Additionally, these missiles have the capability to heat sink onto their targets, making it easier to take down targets such as your gunship patrols. Now, even though the EAT is a stronger missile and has a shorter cooldown, I'll often prefer the Commando over the EAT, as the Commando has the ability to take on multiple enemies or just have the ammunition you need to take on a target if you miss a shot. Easily one of the coolest looking launchers in the game. Dylan, you
Son of a bitch.
tier. Next up, we have the recoilless rifle. Very fun launcher that features a rounds reload mechanic with a backpack slot. You'll have 5 additional missiles to your backpack and 1 to the chamber. The recoilless rifle is a solid pick if you're looking for a consistent anti-heavy support weapon. Recoilless rifle falls into the Dylan, you
You son of a bitch.
tier. Alright, the airburst rocket launcher. Alright, let's talk about this little firecracker. Comes with a backpack of 5 missiles and 1 in the chamber. Now this pocket cluster bomb can be fun to shoot, but it lacks the consistency in its performance for me personally to justify taking this over other support weapons. Now if you enjoy using the airburst launcher, please enjoy using it. I personally think this weapon still needs some changes to its detonation proximity mechanic.
You look dusty.
Tier. The Quasar Cannon. Now this infinite launcher has fallen a little bit from its grace since its launch with the changes to its overheat mechanic, but I'd be lying if I said this still wasn't a fantastic launcher that can be clutch in a situation in which there is no readily ammo available. Its wind-up mechanic will take a little bit of time to get used to. It can often feel like an eternity when trying to shoot your balls of energy cheese at enemies you are actively engaged in combat with. Neat anti-tank support weapon that falls a bit short in terms of its damage output as fast as some of the other anti-heavy support weapons.
Nice.
Tier. The Spear, previously an edgy launcher that was seen as a wasted stratagem slot. That is no longer the case with its most recent update to its targeting mechanic. You can consistently lock onto enemies and destructible targets such as your bot fabricators. This launcher comes with a backpack of 3 missiles and 1 to the chamber. Now I love the Spear, especially when focusing on playing objectives. Only drawback this weapon has is its low ammo capacity, as well as targeting your bigger enemies at closer ranges. You'll often whiff your shots as the missile initially launches straight into the air and toward your targets. Great weapon, however,
I want more.
tier. Next category on our list is going to be the automatic support weapons. First up, we have the machine gun. Now the machine gun is a fantastic support weapon that I still enjoy using on higher difficulties, particularly on the bug front, for its ability to melt through chaff and medium armored targets with ease. It has 3 firing modes and 3 magazines with 150 rounds per magazine. Only thing this weapon is lacking on the bug front is its capability to reliably take on your Bio Titans and at times your Impalers. Overall, as a support weapon, it's pretty damn good, and I like to pair it with a stun grenade for position and firing onto my targets.
I want more.
Tier. Onto the heavier sibling of the machine gun, we have the heavy machine gun. Now this is my go-to machine gun for the bot front, as you're able to melt through pretty much anything the bot front has to throw at your Helldiver, particularly when crushing your hulks within seconds when targeting their visors. Now the HMG has 3 firing modes and 2 magazines, however I tend to always keep the fire rate on the lowest setting, as the recoil on this thing is very erratic when holding down the trigger. The HMG is fun, but with its low round capacity and max magazines of 2, I often feel that
I want more.
tier. Alright, onto our last automatic support weapon, we have the Stalwart. Now the Stalwart is fun to shoot, especially with its 3rd firing mode increasing its firing rate to 1150. The Stalwart has 250 rounds to the mag and a total of 3 mags which you can reload on the move. What the Stalwart lacks is the ability to penetrate your medium armor. I'll often pair this with the Eruptor or another medium pen weapon to compensate for the medium armored enemies. Guys, the Stalwart is fun if you are playing a support role in a team, but I can't justify taking the Stalwart over many of the other support weapons when you find yourself into a solo situation.
You look dusty.
Tier. Moving on to our next category, we have the Ballistic support weapons. First up is the AMR. Now the AMR is, in my opinion, one of the top tier slots when you are considering a support weapon on the bot front. It comes with 3 scope ranges and 6 magazines with 7 rounds to the mag. Now I love the AMR, as it is the most consistent weapon that I can find to take out Gatling guns attached to the base of factory Striders. Additionally, the AMR can consistently take down your hulks when targeting their visors. Its ergonomics are pretty damn good. You're able to snap to directions that your enemies are coming from with ease, and now the bug front, I occasionally do enjoy using the AMR as you're able to one-shot headshot your nursing spewers and several of the medium armored enemies. Additionally, with the damage changes to this thing, now you're able to take on your chargers and Bile Titans. Very solid support weapon if you love playing at range. Dylan, you
Son of a bitch.
tier. Previously the end-all be-all support weapon at the launch of Helldivers 2, we have the Railgun. Now the Railgun is, in my opinion, one of the most versatile support weapons in the game. It feels great to use against the biggest enemies on both the bug and bot fronts. It has 2 firing modes of safe and unsafe. Now safe mode excels, but for me, I'll keep the Railgun on unsafe mode at all times, as I'm used to when I should release the trigger according to its heat up mechanic. Failing to do so with medium armor and below will result in the explosion of your Railgun, as well as your Helldiver. But trust me when I say that when you understand how to utilize the Railgun to its peak potential, it'll be one of your favorite support weapons that is available to you. Chef's Kiss,
So good and tasty.
tier. Alright, next up we have the Grenade Launcher. Now this support weapon I find enjoyment when playing Blitz, Search and Destroy, particularly on the bug front. The support weapon is fantastic at clearing your medium to light enemies, again especially on the bug front, as the nature of the bugs is grouping up together, whereas the bots are typically more spread out, firing all their Twizzlers at you. You can take out Bile Titans too pretty easily with this, it just requires a little bit more finesse. For example, if you crack a Bile Titan's back with a stratagem such as rocket pods, the grenade launcher's splash damage will take them down pretty quickly. What I would love to see come to the grenade launcher is for it to be affected by engineering kit passive to increase your maximum ammo. Grenade launcher falls into the
I want more.
tier. Last and certainly not least in our other ballistic weapons section is the autocannon. Now the autocannon is my go-to for many missions on both the bot and bug fronts. It has 2 firing modes and 10 spare mags with 10 rounds per mag. The autocannon excels in pretty much all aspects now with the damage changes to a weapon, allowing it now to take on your chargers and Bile Titans with ease on the bug front. On the bot front, this thing has always been a go-to since it's able to take on everything the bot front has to offer. Besides the awful first-person sights this weapon has, there's really nothing bad I can say about the autocannon. Chef's Kiss,
So good and tasty.
tier. Last category on our list are the thrower and laser support weapons. Up first we have the Sterilizer. Now the Sterilizer is a very niche support weapon that has its use if your sole objective is to complete the mission. I do find most of my enjoyment in the Sterilizer during the Nuke Nursery mission type when you're trying to keep the bugs from damaging the drill. You'll have 4 canisters of confusing gas to CC your enemies. Fun niche weapon, just note that you're probably not doing much damage for the team.
Nice.
tier. Next on our list needs no introductions, we have the Flamethrower. This is a gold standard on the bug front, in my opinion, as it has the ability to inflict a large radius of damage over time to both the environment or your enemies. This cannot be understated. Now with some tweaks, now to the Flamethrower's damage, we can effectively take on our Bile Titans. Chef's Kiss.
So good and tasty.
Tier. Next on our list we have the Arc Thrower. Yep. Alright. Yep. Nope. No. Yeah. Nope. Yep.
Dusty.
Tier. Last in our throwers and lasers category is the Laser Cannon. Now the Laser Cannon is a pretty good weapon, especially on the bot front with some of the changes to its damage mechanics. It's now pretty decent on the bug front as well. In my opinion, what this weapon needs is a shorter heat cooldown and or additional ranges to make me favor the Laser Cannon over some of the other support weapons. Still a very good choice, and its potential for unlimited ammunition is nothing to scoff at.
Nice.
Tier. And that is going to do it for the video. What do you guys think of this tier list? Is there any support weapons you can't just dive without? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that liberty-inducing like button to send this broadcast out to more Helldivers and subscribe for more democratic content. Guys, I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are. I'll see you in the next one, and take care, everybody.